Ladies and gentlemen, to Nocera's channel, globalizing recirculating aquaculture systems, ensuring you clean water and clean fish, expanding the business. And Jeff's going to be taking us through the entire investor deck today, giving us that broad overview. The Chief Executive Officer. First and foremost, welcome back, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, honored to be here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to get you on in your expanding business here. We recently just talked about some of the acquisitions you guys are doing into like established live video streaming companies. But today I kind of just want to get the broad view, a clerical idea of exactly what's going on under the hood there. So I'm going to pass it off to you to kind of just take us through your investor deck.
Sure, let's do that right now. Nocera, we consider ourselves as the new aquaculture solution. We are a local, sustainable way to farm a healthy fish. And our NASDAQ symbol is NCRA. This is what we make. We make recirculating agriculture systems, RAS. One of our systems can raise up to 20,000 pounds of tilapia or catfish, and yield about $25,000 to $50,000 of gross revenue in the U.S. Either processed or live. The RAS technology is very, very simple. Okay, it basically recycles 90% of the water, protect the ecosystem, and we can produce up to 80% of the production. Given a limited area. So in a small piece of land, instead of using 1 acre, we only have to use 1/80th of the land to produce the same amount of fish. And this is the fish farm that we built. Okay, this is one of the fish farms that we built in China. We kind of shows you. And then here is the indoor fish farm. That's the outdoor. We do indoor and outdoors, basically. And the outdoor fish farm is mainly because it doesn't require, the weather production. The temperature is good. For the indoor ones are either solar sharing, or it requires that it has to pass through winter. So that's why when you need a indoor fish farm. Okay, this is the fish farm we built. So our milestone, we started as a manufacturer of recirculating aquaculture system and build land-based fish farms. In 2019, 2021, we moved our operation and technology to Taiwan, and we invested in solar sharing fish farms. Basically, as part of policy for Taiwan, they are trying to encourage, solar producers by saying that if you have a fish farm under your solar panels, we're going to give you, better rates, 70% loan and stuff, financing like that. And then, in 2022 August, we listed on the NASDAQ exchange. So that's some of our milestones. Let's take a look at next one. Why aquaculture it's important because overfishing is the most serious problem that's threatening our ocean. Basically, 90% of the seafood it's being imported from overseas in the U.S. About 3 billion people worldwide depends on seafood as a protein source. And most importantly, that seafood is highly demanded, for globally when the population grows. By 2050, our population will be 9.5 billion, and the demand for seafood or food will double. But even now, because of COVID, we have, this crisis, a food crisis, is a COVID. Okay. Yeah, benefit of RAS again, it's flexible, it's independent, okay, it has a maximum production efficiency, increased biosecurity, and prevent disease outbreak. It's independent from water, independent from weather. It has a variable environmental conditions. So basically, I can have different tanks, having different species at different temperatures and using different AIoT. And it also reduces the wastewater and also reduce the need for traditional fish farm. So basically, the land for traditional fish farm also reduce the need for fish feed. It's very, very important that the bigger the space, the more waste, the more fish feed that we waste, and that's something that we got to think about. Most of the fish farm in the U.S. are still in the pond, lagoons or these big size ponds that's theoretically big, and a lot of these feeds are being wasted because it's just too big. That all the fish feed are being blown all over the place, and the fish are not eating everything. So So, one of the biggest ways of that is the fish feed, because your pond is too big. You cannot really control or see or manage how much feed they're eating, or if they're eating everything. So a lot of fish feed are wasted. Like I said, this is what the U.S. fish farm looks like right now. Okay, it's big pond. You need 4 or 5 people to harvest the nets to your left. Okay, the 1970s. Okay, we're still back to the 1970s, and there's no upgrade. Okay, and this is one of our tanks. One of our tanks replaced easily, one of these ponds. Okay, and that's just how simple it is. Our harvest, we just pull the tube here, and the fish will flow out directly. We don't need 4 or 5 people, to go down to the water, harvest the net, and that's just because the U.S. technology focused on high tech, and something like this traditional fish farm, which they consider low tech. Okay, nobody's really focusing on this, and that's why the U.S. fish farm is so outdated. It's either being abandoned or being sold. Nobody wants to do the dirty work, and we make our RSS system make it more efficient, more clean. Where one of our manager or engineer can manage 50 tanks, and this is how easy it is. Okay, our services, we have engineering design, we have procurement, we have construction. So basically, we design the farm, we design the equipment, we procure, and then we manufacture, and then we construct. So basically, from equipment to the land construction to the fish farm construction, we do it all by ourselves. And we have proven that because we built the biggest fish farm in China. And we set an industry standard. Because right now there's no industry standard. Our systems are economical. We have a second market value and easy installation and removal. Think about used cars. Okay, our system can be moved, can be reused, like used car can be resold. So if I build a fish farm here, I think, well, yeah, you know what? Maybe the weather is not good enough. I can move my equipment to another location and build another fish farm. So that's how good we are, how efficient we are right now. And right now, we are the only Taiwanese provider of total solution RAS, solar energy sharing and construction services. Okay, no company in Taiwan can do all 3 at the same time, but we can. We're going to do RAS, we can do solar, and we can do construction. Okay, now let's look at our tanks here. Okay, our tank can range from 15 meter, 20 meter, 8 meters. Okay, the one we're building in Alabama is going to be most likely to be a 15 to 20 meter. Okay, which we're going to produce about 22,000 pounds of catfish a year. Okay, here is the biomass tank. Here is the settlement tank, and this is where the fish are swimming. Okay, so when the fish are swimming, they start eating. Their waste will be flow out to this settlement tank. And where the settlement tank is that all the waste will go down and settle at the bottom, and then the water will be pumped to this biomass tank. And the biomass tank basically carry all the good germs and flow back to the water here. So instead of having 6 pumps, we're using only 1 pump. And because we use the physics, the level of physics, water from high to low, and water pressure, we are able to use only 1 to 2 pumps instead of 6 pumps. And that's just how efficient we are. And in terms of the fish application, to the extent that if you have anything you can find, either a fry or a fingering, we can do anything you want. We can do seawater, we can do fish water, we can even do crabs, abalone, fattening, crab fattening, we can do shrimps, anything you can think of, as long as you have the fingering or the fry, we can do it. Okay, but the thing is, like, the reason we pick catfish and tilapia at the start, because this is the easiest fish to raise and has the highest, I wouldn't say the value, compared to salmon. But in terms of like the cost efficiency, these are the fish that low investment, high return. Basically, I can raise a pound of catfish fillet now sells for $8.99 at Walmart, and then salmon is about what, $9.50. Same for tilapia. Tilapia sells for like what, $7.99 at Walmart. Salmon is like what, $9.50. So, but the investment that you have to invest into equipment, into the fish feed, into everything for salmon will cost you hundreds of millions of dollars to investment, like AquaBounty, okay, like Atlantic Sapphire. Okay, AquaBounty put a pause. They spent almost $200,000. They spent almost $300 million, and they went over budget. And guess what? Their construction is over budget. They cannot do it. AquaBounty, and then Atlantic Sapphire, they have a fish farm that's super nice. Okay, but guess what? They lost about $200 million in the last 3 years. Okay, so they picked the wrong species. You know what I mean? You want a species that doesn't die. It's easy to take care of, and that doesn't die, and it yields a high return. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, this is an example of our indoor fish farm. So basically, the solar panel will be on top of this roof, and then these are, because being indoors, we don't need, too rough of these. So these are PVC like cloth, which is very strong. Okay, it took us about an hour to cut it up, to push a hole into it. But the thing is, like, to replace it, it's basically you can just put a piece of tape on it. So basically, this is how easy it is. It took us about 5 to 10 hours to just install one, and it's basically so efficient. This is our demo site in Taiwan. We gave the farmers, 2 tanks to test for the last 2 years. We tested different species. We tested shrimp. We tested crabs. We tested, tilapia. We tested eel, and everything's a success. But it's just like we have different, tricks. There'll be some kind of for different species. We may have to trick some of the equipment. We will have to trick different, make some adjustments to our tanks. Basically, that's what it is. Okay, again, impact of COVID-19 is that the freight increased about 5%, the port delayed, lack of frozen storage at major ports, and increased import seafood prices. Basically, this tells us there's no more cheap fish. All the fish went up. Catfish and tilapia used to be $1.99 from China or $1 from China. No, right now it's $8.99. Okay, or even maybe you can find something for $4.99, $5.99, but these are imported from China. For the U.S. grown catfish or tilapia, it's $8.99. Okay, so basically we are in a very good spot right now, or timing, where fish from overseas does not solve the demand in the U.S. Okay, there's executive orders from the Trump era, from Biden, from Obama. All they want is bring aquaculture back to the U.S. But why is nobody doing that? Because it's too expensive. One of these farms will cost you a lot of money, and then it's just nobody want to do it because it's too expensive. You have an investment. Okay, so basically what we do is right now is like we are looking to build our first site in Alabama, where it's in location of Montgomery. Basically, that solves our issue of labor. Okay, most of the fish farms in the U.S. they're located in very rural areas. Okay, where is like a population of less than 100 people or less. Okay, so nobody want to go there, for working, for doing anything. We are only located about 5 minutes from the Starbucks. In a rural fish farm in Montgomery. We're only about 2 hours away from Atlanta Airport. So that's why we are located in the city of Montgomery, our fish farm. And that's why we want to build our fish farm, and then maybe later on franchise out. Okay, And then this is our projections. Okay, so basically, this has been a little bit delayed because of the financing that we have right now. Because we kind of took the alternative of acquisition of China first and delay this project. Okay, second, but ultimately we want to build this fish farm. So our budget is totally about $15 million compared to like $300 million, $500 million. But our return it's almost a cent. Okay, so in terms of the Nocera's achievement, to go over again, we completed 473 land-based recycling agriculture system in China. We presented at the National Investment Bank Association in 2019. 2020, we built the branch office in Taiwan. In 2021, I presented the webinar at the Global Rice Summit in UK. In 2021 July, I presented, which is an honor, the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, recirculating agriculture for small fishermen. And I won a lot of support and applause. And I feel honored is because a lot of my fans are small fishermen or small fisher farmers. Okay. They don't have $100 million. They don't even have $1 million, right? They could have a couple $100,000 maybe. But the thing is like they want to raise fish. Okay. These Norwegian Oslo, fund, they have a lot of money, but they cannot solve the problem of food prices. Raising salmon does not solve food prices. But raising catfish, raising tilapia, we can solve food prices. And that's and we have more demand of that instead of salmon, in the US. Our Mexican American, our African American, our Asian American, or our American American, everybody loves tilapia, right? Everybody loves catfish. Okay, but not everybody loves salmon, because salmon it's just not really available to everybody, back in the old days. Okay, and this is what it is. Okay, in 2021 September, I was selected, for a story, an article of the Asian CEO magazine, "Raising Fish to Benefit All," which is very honored as well. It talk about my ideas like how we can do to solve the food crisis. And I think, maybe later on I can win a Nobel Prize or something. If I hope. Okay, and then in 2022 August, we were listed on NASDAQ. Okay, we are, let me put it this way. We are the only fish water equipment company that's listed on NASDAQ right now. There's nobody else. So it's being honored. A lot of things like AquaBounty and Blue Star, they all have a big problem is that they are not equipment makers. Okay, they are depending on people to do the design, to manufacture the equipment, and manufacture their farm, like construct their farms. So they don't even know if their fish farm works or not. You know what I mean? They don't even know if the water that they're testing works or not. And that's the problem. After like Blue Star came to me, I said, "Are you sure you want to do this?" You know what I mean? Do you know where it actually works? Because sometimes you buy this huge machine, when it comes to the US, when it comes to your home, it doesn't work. And that's how commercial, industrial machine works. So whatever we do, we know it works because we've tested for the last 5 years, on a daily basis. Our fish farm in Asia, in Taiwan, in China, have been operating for 5 years. Okay, but whatever design that Blue Star has or AquaBounty has, nobody knows it works because it's brand new, and that's why we found very interesting and very risky for those investments. Yep, and then 2023, basically, we want to finish our fish farm in 2024, and starting operation. And our location is in Alabama. This is what it looked like. It's about 222 or 229 acres of land. We're going to clean it up, and there's like water, flowing like Alabama River water going behind it, and then we're gonna dig two big reservoir, one for the settlement and one for the biomass. So basically everything's being designed. We're right now just waiting for the financing. Okay, like I said, it's a friendly state. There's no license required. 10-minute drive from city center, saving transportation. Population of over 100,000 people. 1.5 hours away from Birmingham. 2.5 hours from town airport. Close proximity, to a processing plant. So we can sell easily to processing plant. Okay. The financials for Alabama. Okay. Basically, we can sell it for wholesale for $2 per pound, and our cost is about 80 cents. Okay. So it takes us 80 cents of working capital, including labor, electricity, water, fish feed, everything. It costs us 80 cents. Okay, and we can sell it easily for $2 directly to our processing plant. But if we were to fillet ourselves, and then retail, we can sell it for $5 to $9 a pound, and my cost is only 80 cents. But even fillet, having a processing plant, it doesn't cost that much. Okay, and here's the SIM, right? At $9 a pound, our revenue is going to be 63 million. At $2 a pound, our revenue is going to be 20 million. Okay, so basically, even at 20 million, $2 a pound, my cost is only about what, $8 million. So I'm making $12 million a year once my fish farm start operation. And that's just how efficient we are. Yeah, same thing here. This is a breakdown of the investments. Yep. Same here. Net profit 12.5 per pound. Yep. So we have all the finance. So basically, we can make our gross margin is almost like 100%. And people just found that to be amazing. And it is amazing because the fish prices went up 400% in the last 2 3 years. I'm just going to skip that. And then our future roadmap is that California, or UK, Dorset, Brazil, stuff. We receive a lot of phone calls, a lot of emails, but we just don't have enough manpower to serve the world. You know what I mean? It's like UK was, oh yeah, I met with the UK finance minister. So yeah, we want you to be in UK, but I told him, I don't have the money to build in UK. He said, "What can you listed on the London Exchange?" I said, "No, I don't want to be listed on the London Exchange." So yeah, it's very, very interesting. It's very, very happy that all the countries are addressing the issue, trying to address the issue of food crisis, especially after the COVID, after the Ukraine crisis, and when everything stops, when there's no more fish or no more food. Now all the countries, I said, you know what? Maybe I need a fish farm, and that's what UK is doing right now. UK only have 12 fish farms, but none of them really produce fish or tilapia or catfish. Most of them are either salmon, trout, oysters, mussels. That's it. So whatever fish farm they have in UK does not feed the Britain. So the Britain ministers are worried if anything breaks out, their fishing boat cannot go out, then UK has no more seafood, and that's just how serious some of these countries are. Basically, right now we're gonna add a Chinese operation back. It used to be dormant. We're gonna stop the Chinese operation. So right now, Nocera, we have a Prince office in Taiwan. We have a VIE controlled central kitchen in Taiwan. We're right now developing our brand of bento boxes, and then we have an operation in Hong Kong, budget control in China, that will be added back to this picture. Currently, the management team is myself. We have our corporate secretary, Jerry Lindbergh. Our COO is Howard Run, and then our CFO is Jimmy Strong. Jimmy has a CPA of both Taiwan and the US. Board of directors, it's myself, David Cole. He used to be the chief investment officer of Wishfang, Taiwan. Jerry used to be CEO of many public companies. Thomas Steele used to be a foreign services officer in the Clinton administration. Very, very famous, number 2, number 3. He speaks fluent English and Japanese, so he's helping us with the Japanese expansion in the future. And Hui Ying, basically, he's one of our boiler guys who's working with one of the top boiler. So to the extent that we need heating for our fish farm in cold waters, we can use it. So our board of directors is very, very strong.
Yeah, no worries. I definitely appreciate these insights. I want to pass a question out to the viewers. We'd love to know what you think in that comment section below, and definitely consider subscribing, because as news comes down the wire, we're going to continue to update you here. But on that, as always, we look forward to catching you in the next one.